Acumatica University, an introduction to the Acumatica User Interface. This video provides an overview of the Acumatica User Interface. You will become acquainted with the menu structure, data forms, and navigational elements. During this demonstration, we will use the administrator account. Depending on the user role, menus, dashboards, and screen elements will differ because they are tailored to a user's specific needs. Signing in to Acumatica. Acumatica supports single sign-on and two-factor authentication. In this example, I log in using the username and password option. Once you are signed in, you see your home screen. The home screen can be any screen in the system, but is frequently a dashboard. In Acumatica 2017 R2, we introduced a new user interface designed to make navigation more intuitive and improve efficiency by maximizing the size of your work area. In the new user interface, suites, modules, and multi-layer menus are replaced with workspaces. If desired, you can switch back to the legacy interface using the User Preferences screen. The modern UI screens contain the following elements: a navigation area to guide your Acumatica experience. The main menu consists of favorites and customizable workspaces. You can collapse the main menu to maximize your work area. A logo in the top left, which returns you to your home screen. A universal search window for quick navigation, data search, help search, and file search. And an information area which displays the current date, help links, and user data. A new responsive design allows the new UI to maximize the use of screen real estate on mobile devices such as tablets and cell phones. Using Workspaces. Workspaces allow you to quickly access data entry screens, reports, and dashboards. The top workspace is your favorites. You can define favorites by clicking a star in the menu or on top of screens. Each workspace may contain tiles and menu items. Tiles are designed to provide easy access to data entry screens. Menu items are designed to link to dashboards, pivot tables, and data lists, which serve as entry points to your data entry screens. Each menu item can be organized and defined by categories. When you navigate to a screen, Acumatica automatically highlights the associated workspace so you can quickly find related screens. Searching for information. The universal search bar in the top pane provides quick access to screens, data records, help articles, and files. To use search, type information into the search box. Acumatica returns a list of screens and reports that match your text. As you enter more specific terms, the system narrows your results accordingly. If you want to find specific data records instead of screens, you can press Return, or click the Transactions and Profiles tab. You can enter invoice numbers, customer names, product descriptions. Almost everything in Acumatica is searchable. You can press Return again, or click the Help Articles tab to access documentation and help articles related to your search term. Finally, you can find files that match the search term in the file name by clicking the Files tab. Clear your search results by clicking the X in the upper right corner. There are two other ways to search for specific data records. On an entry point screen, you can search the list of displayed records in the search bar in the upper right of the screen. On a data entry form, you can search for a specific record of this data type by clicking the magnifying glass on the reference number field. This opens a dialog box where you can search for a specific record. Data screen entry points. When navigating to a data entry screen, Acumatica provides the option to display a list of records so you can quickly navigate to specific data. The items in the list are driven from a generic inquiry and a default data filter. Each tab is a filter that can be configured in the system. The inquiry and default data filters can be changed by a system administrator. While viewing a data record, you can return to the entry point list by clicking the back arrow in the top left corner. Data entry forms. You can open a data entry form directly from a tile by selecting a specific item on a data list, or by clicking the plus sign within a form toolbar available on the data list. The Journal Transactions screen is a typical data entry form. On any form, you have the form title bar, with functions that are related to the form, including notes, activities, files, notifications, and customization options. The availability of these functions may vary by screen and permissions. The Form toolbar, which provides buttons that you work with when using the form. These include standard buttons you use to navigate among records, as well as buttons to perform actions such as saving, deleting, and adding an object. The main area of the form, which usually consists of a summary and detail area. Entering data. In this example, we will create a new general ledger batch. Within the information area, people with appropriate permissions can set the business date, which is used within each new document. Fields which are required are marked with an asterisk. A gray asterisk means the system has inserted a default parameter which you can change. A red asterisk indicates that you need to specify a value. The new placeholder means that the system will generate the value for you as soon as you save the document. This placeholder is typically used for a document number and is based on the numbering sequence specified in the module preferences. Fields containing a magnifying glass allow you to open a dialog box to select from a list of valid values. Since we are creating a batch, we need to add transactions. To populate the table, click the plus sign to add a row on the table toolbar. You can also click within the table to insert the first row. Specify values in the columns marked with red asterisks. Once you type more than one digit, Acumatica automatically displays records that meet the search criteria for that field. In the account field, the system searches for the account number and account description. You can also press the F3 key to get a list of valid values. Use the Tab key or Enter to move to the next column. Subaccounts can be divided into several segments. Point to a segment and press the F3 key to get a list of valid values. You can move to a new row by pressing the down arrow or by completing all the fields in your current detail row. Click the pencil icon to switch between the grid view, where all data scrolls on a single row, and the form view, where all data appears on a single screen, to match the process that allows you to enter your data most efficiently. To delete a row, select the row that you want to delete and click the X button. Rearranging columns. In any data table, an individual user can rearrange columns or change the column size by dragging and dropping. You can hide or show columns and save your settings by opening the Column Configuration menu in the top left section of any grid. When you click OK, your individual settings are stored to the server, so your experience is the same from any browser or device. Warning and error messages. On data entry screens, the system will warn you of potential data errors by displaying a yellow warning label. For example, if your financial period does not match the date of your transaction, the system will display the yellow icon. If you hover over the icon, you will see additional information about the warning. When warnings are displayed, you can still save your data. When you enter an invalid value, the system displays a red error icon. When an error is displayed, you cannot save the data until the error is corrected. When you click Save, the data from the summary and detail areas is stored in the database. Click Save frequently to avoid losing any work. Attachments. You can attach files to any document in Acumatica by clicking the Files menu. Click Browse to select the file that you would like to attach, and then hit Upload to attach the file. Alternatively, you can drag and drop a document to the summary section of the form. The number 2 on the File menu indicates that you have successfully attached 2 files. You can also attach files to detail lines by clicking the paperclip icon next to the line. Exporting data. On any data grid, you have the option to export data to an Excel spreadsheet. The file is exported and saved according to your browser preferences. Several grids, such as the journal transaction details, allow you to import data from a spreadsheet into the grid. Copying data records. On most data entry forms, the Form toolbar has a clipboard icon for copying and pasting data. Navigate to the data record that you want to copy and select the Copy option. Next, add a new record and select the option to Paste. As you can see, the system copies information in both the Summary and Detail sections. Collapsing work panes. When doing data entry, you can increase the amount of space available in the Details grid. This is useful in situations where you have a lot of detail lines. To expand the workspace, collapse the Summary area by clicking the small arrow icon in the upper left corner. Click it again to open the Summary area. Sorting and filtering records. Within data grids and inquiry results, you can sort records based on values in a column, and filter records by specifying criteria on multiple columns. To sort the GL transactions by batch number, click the batch header. You can sort ascending or descending. To filter records where the amount is greater than $200, select the control total and select the appropriate selection criteria. You can further narrow your results by specifying a transaction date. Click the transaction date header, and notice that the filter options are specific to the data type for each field that you select. In this case, I'll select this week's transactions. The system allows you to save data filters. To do this, click the filter icon in the navigation bar. Set filtering criteria using individual lines in the dialog box. When creating a filter, you have the option to share it with others or make it your default. When you save the filter, a new tab is created. If you share the filter, then you need to have access to the Filters page in order to make modifications. Help. Context-specific help is available from any screen by clicking the question mark in the information area. If the working pane contains a form, then the system displays contextual concepts and screen-specific help. Clicking on these items links to editable wiki articles. All screens, including dashboards and reports, provide a link to the Help dashboard. The Help dashboard provides access to all help files. Data processing. Processing screens allow you to perform mass operations on a set of selected objects. The Write-off Balances and Credits screen is an example of a processing screen. This screen allows you to filter open invoices according to several selection criteria. You can select one invoice by checking the box, or you can select multiple ones. Click Process to perform the requested action on all checked rows. If you want to process every transaction that appears on the screen, click the Process All button. There's a scheduler associated with all processing screens so that you can automatically process records according to specific criteria on a regular recurring basis. Reports. Acumatica has three types of reports that are published to screens. Financial reports, such as the Profit and Loss report, are built using the Analytical Report Manager. You run a report by accepting or modifying the report parameters and clicking the Run Report button. Click the Export button to get an Excel spreadsheet or PDF copy of the report that was just generated. You can also email the report or print a paper copy. The Group setting allows you to see the unit sets that make up a consolidated report. Click the Parameters icon to run the report with different financial settings. You can also save parameters as a template to make it easier to run them in the future. Inquiries are a second type of report. System inquiries, like the account summary, provide quick access to data and have screen-specific buttons in the navigation pane. Generic inquiries are similar in function, but can be built by users. Generic inquiries are used as inputs to dashboards, pivot tables, entry forms, and other objects such as marketing lists. Finally, there are form reports, such as a customer invoice. Form reports allow you to format data distinctly on a page with graphics to provide a look and feel for customer-facing documents. Dashboards. Dashboards contain several widgets which provide real-time data views, data visualizations, and wiki articles. You can drill into dashboards to learn more about the data or take action to correct highlighted issues. In some dashboards, you can click on legend values to show and hide different values. Users with specific permissions can click on the Design button. The Design allows you to modify the dashboard by adding new widgets or by dragging and dropping widgets to different locations. When you click the Design button again, your changes are saved. Configuration screens. Forms, such as the General Ledger Preferences screen, are used during the setup and implementation of Acumatica. Most individual users do not have access to these screens, and they're rarely changed once your system is set up and implemented. Individuals who access preference screens frequently can click the gear icon and check the box in front of the General Ledger Preferences screen to add it to the Quick menu. That's all for the introduction to the Acumatica ERP User Interface. Be sure to continue your educational journey with other Acumatica classes.